My Trip to Japan by Jesse Watson. Day 1, Tokyo, Japan. I'm so tired from that 12-hour and 15-minute flight straight to Japan. I just can't wait for tomorrow and to explore Japan's vast, great culture, art, food, and amazing architecture. I'm about to land and go to the Intercontinental Inn of the Strings in Tokyo, Japan. Oyasumi. Good night. P.S. $1 equals 0.88 cents in Japan. P.P.S. Japan is made of 6,852 islands. But guess how many are inhabited? Only 430. Day 2. For breakfast, I had miso soup in the hotel lobby, but I couldn't make out most of the flavors because they were usually shrouded in other flavors. Once I finished breakfast, I went to Mount Fuji for some sightseeing. Here's some good pics I got. There's still snow on the mountain. Guess what? It's not just a mountain. It's a stratovolcano, which is basically a volcano made of many layers. It is also the highest peak in all of Japan. The rock formations there were incredible. Walking on the trail, you would think that you were about to get back to where you started, only to find more miniature hills to slow you down on the rim of the volcano. Day 2, Site 2. I went to Fukushima's prefecture. Fukushima is mainly known for the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear accident on March 11th, 2011, which caused a mass evacuation of the region. But anyways, it also contains the debris. It's far inland, which makes me think that the workers are getting a lot of radiation as they're hauling the contaminated things out. And it takes a while, so they're probably at their limit of radiation endurance, so they have to get away from the areas with high amounts of radiation. As I approached the building, my heart skipped 5 beats because of how abandoned the buildings around it looked. They could have been covered in cockroaches and still looked the same. The buildings were so weathered on, you could see the paint on the insides of the houses. It is scary to think that this area isn't even close to how bad the more coastal areas and places near the Fukushima Daiichi power plants look. Most of the Fukushima is radioactive because of a couple of bad ideas. I say bad ideas because placing about 10 nuclear power plants on the coast and in an area where earthquakes are common and can be very devastating, in a highly populated area, it's just a great idea. Not. But still, I like the idea of a prefecture to clean and store the contaminated objects. But even so, how are you going to clean Fukushima and let people go back to Fukushima? Oyasumi. Day 3. Konnichiwa. Today I'm visiting the Edo Castle, which was also the Shogun's palace. Of course, there's no shogun or even someone who lives in that palace. But even so, it was the most secure palaces in Japan due to having no interconnecting room, which basically means that you have to go outside and walk to another entrance to even go to any room. And when the palace was in use, there were a lot of guards walking around, so you'd have to be spotted before you got anywhere. Plus the fact that there's a giant moat around it with a huge wall. Oh, and did I mention that inside the house the floor is really squeaky? In short, it is almost impossible to get in without somebody noticing. The squeaking was really annoying, but the forest of sakura trees around it were gorgeous, which made up for the squeaking. castle is just so big. It made me wonder how much the whole building weighed, and if there were any escape routes. I love the Tokyo Skytree because of its design and architecture. The structural design looks really good on the outer framework, and it matches the art that it's supposed to be, neo-futuristic. The two big rings on the top are even more futuristic looking. In the Musashi restaurant in the Skytree, I had a lot of Shio with its majestic, salty, pure taste with scrumptious, tender steak. Once I finished eating dinner, I went to the highest part of the tower that is accessible. I almost lost my Shio, so I had to look away. P.S. I'm afraid of heights. P.P.S. The Tokyo Skytree is used for broadcasting. P.P.S. It is also the tallest tower in the world. Right now, I'm on the bullet train, going underwater in a tunnel, going to the second main island of Japan to see the beautiful Sapporo Art Park. I've heard people say that it was the best thing that they had ever seen, so my expectations are going to be high. Once I get off the train, I'll have to get on a taxi to get to the Sapporo Art Park. I've finally gotten in a taxi and I'm getting stuck in traffic, so that delayed me a lot. Wait, the traffic's starting to break up. Finally! Day 4. I love the Sapporo Art Park so much. I did get a lot of exercise, and luckily, as I started to get hungry, I found a sushi stand, so I ate sushi while admiring the artwork. My expectations were completely crushed by everything I saw. One statue was like a teepee, but it's silver. Fun fact, the Sapporo Art Park focuses on education and research. P.S. I can see why it was one of the top 100 public architecture places in Japan. When I'm reflecting, I'm filled with joy because that was my best vacation ever. It's amazing and strange to me how they built really big things for situations and what they used them for, how they used them, and what their special qualities were. Right now, I'm referring to the Edo Castle. Hee hee hee. Overall, it was the best week of my life. I had a lot of grade A cuisines like rice balls, kitsune udon, pocky, and mapo tofu. My flight got in late, so I used the jet lag to fall asleep, but it took a while. When I was in the bullet train in the center of the main island, I could see a couple of sites that I had visited, and the same with the Skytree. If I could explore more of the ruins of the Edo Castle, I'd be really happy, and hopefully could find some secret passages or escape routes. I'm kind of glad to be going back to America for a while, and hopefully the next time I go, the weather holds out long enough for me to complete the vacation like it did the last 4 days. I wonder which type of jet lag I'll get this time. Wait, it's dark already? Just for the sake of my hygiene, I'm going to sleep. Good night. P.S. When I get back, I'm going to snuggle in bed. Bibliography. Google Maps, SavoreJapan.com, AccuWeather, Wikipedia, The Wall Street Journal, The Guardian, Fukushima on the Globe, Japan, The Official Guide, Sussel, Beachopedia, Cron, Prezi, Tokyo Skytree.